Hi, my name is Paul Finch, and I'm the president of the BC General Employees Union, and I'm also the chair of your Public Service Bargaining Committee. I want to talk about a few things today, a weekly update. One is I want to talk about our preparations for a potential vote or strike vote. I want to talk a bit about what to expect in the upcoming round of bargaining in June, and I also want to talk a bit about what's happening around the country and the economics of the situation. So I'll start there. Our partner union we work closely with in some regards, the AUP and Alberta have recently taken a successful strike vote, and I talked to their president, Guy Smith. That's an incredibly solid union. We really support the work that they're doing to ensure a fair deal for their members, and we'll keep in contact with them. Across the country, and we're seeing this here in BC, we've had several strikes here in BC, we're experiencing a once in kind of a 40-year inflationary cycle. You can go back and look at it a bit and see that we have inflationary events about once every 40 years. And what that means is that in the wake of that inflationary event, the economies are trying to figure out the prices of things, including the price of labor. And so the costs of living, as you've seen, the affordability crisis, which really started here in British Columbia well before that due to rents, has basically continued and has cascaded. And so you're now seeing a situation where the value of labor is going up to meet those new costs and responsibilities. That means a lot and has a huge impact on us here. It's a big deal. And it's one of those things where the old norms of what was considered to be normal in terms of wages and benefits is now being shifted to meet the new obligations around how things around us are costing a lot more. We're not new to this in BC because BC has been the epicenter of capital being cycled into assets in order to inflate those asset values. What that means in plain English is that rents here have gone up to yield a higher return on investment into those hard assets like real estate. So what that means for us is we have a challenge, and this is the fundamental challenge. Within our membership, we have a diversity of incomes and classifications. We also have a diversity of demographics, and so there are many in our membership that might own their home or paid off the majority of their mortgage, and there's others who are struggling to get by, even to find sufficient shelter on what used to be jobs that you could support and raise a family on. And so our consistent messaging to government at the bargaining table has been and will continue to be that we need a deal that addresses the affordability needs of our membership. It's a difficult thing to do. Government is saying that there's declining revenues in some regards. We think that's as a result of decisions that have been made, not just by this government, but predominantly by the prior two governments. And they've overspent on capital projects, and they say there's not money for frontline workers. So we want to assess how things are going. But we also want to be clear that we have an expectation that the affordability needs of our members are addressed. And so this is this fundamental tension we're looking at. In a time when there is concerns about the economy, there's concerns about provincial revenues, what should our approach be when it comes to demanding wage increases and ones that basically working conditions and wages that address our affordability needs? And so we've done extensive consultation with membership, with you, and we've done extensive public polling. And all that bears positively that we need to demand deals that address our affordability concerns. So I want to address this directly. What does that mean for us? When we go into bargaining in June, when we go back to the table, government has indicated that they'll have a monetary mandate for us by mid-June. Now, the issue is there's some key non-monetary pieces that are outstanding, ones that we've indicated we're willing to strike on. But on top of that, and ones we really haven't had progress on. But on top of that, and this is the key issue, our leverage at the table doesn't come from our ability to negotiate well. And trust me, we've got some of the best negotiators in the country here. But that's not where our leverage comes from. Our leverage is based on our ability to withdraw our labor if we need to take job action. And so in anticipation of either having to take a strike vote or a ratification vote, I've instructed teams of organizers from the union to go out into work sites and to work with our worksite contacts to develop a robust system to be able to conduct a proper strike vote and ratification vote, and if necessary, to conduct job action. So In the coming weeks, you've probably already heard from them, but in the coming weeks, you're going to hear more from those teams. We want to make sure we're fully prepared that in the eventuality that government doesn't come to the table, doesn't start addressing these key non-monetary issues, and doesn't come forward with a wage offer that respects our affordability needs, that we're prepared. So look, I want to do a big thank you as always to the bargaining committee, all the staff assigned, and of course, all the many volunteers working across the province and working very hard to ensure that we're prepared for that eventuality. I'll just add, you'll note that we have a bunch of ads coming out, and those ads focus on a couple occupations, a few key occupations in the civil service. That one of the reasons why is we saw that the general public didn't always know what we did. And so we wanted to make sure that we branded the public service, our members, with a key image that's representative of some of what we do. Now, we know it's impossible to cover the diversity of what we all do in the public service. But we think a few of those representative occupations will give the general public a good idea of what we do, and will also importantly shift the focus away from things that we don't do, because sometimes people have a misconception about that. So anyway, thank you very much for your support. It's deeply appreciated, and please, when worksite contacts and reach out to you, please engage with them as we need your support to ensure that we're successful this round of bargaining. Thank you.